What are you looking at in terms of the long-term future of Florida, and what are the crises that might be faced?
Well, I think you ask a tremendous question because, in Florida we have the constitutional requirement to balance the budget. Unlike our federal counterparts who can run up debt and print and spend from the Fed, we have to actually balance the budget. And when we're looking at least what we're hearing right now is a $3.5 billion shortfall. There are some significant steps that are going to have to be taken. This is going to be a very, very, very difficult session. There's going to be some cutting, and we're going to have to be as efficient as we can in collecting and spending revenue. But I think we have to be committed to making sure that we don't do that in a way that jeopardizes our long-term economic foundation, to make sure that as we're moving forward, we're doing more than just putting Band-Aids on the budget every year, that we're bringing our toolbox to work, and that we're making sure that we're actually building an economic foundation. And I think if we do that, we will have an economy that can survive any sort of recession.
Can you give some examples? Like, what are some things that you think maybe we ought to be careful about doing?
I think I love the fact that we're talking about zero-based budgeting in the agency world and in the world of bureaucracies. I think for so long we have said spend it or you lose it, and justify your spending, rather than saying justify what you're going to get. And so I think if I was to sit here and tell you this is the exact agency I want to see cut, or that I think we ought to have 5% cuts across the board, I'd be lying. I think that's irresponsible in business, and I think it's irresponsible in government. It's to say that every agency, everything in government is an asset, and some of those assets are going to reach optimal performance if they're properly funded. Some of them are currently underfunded. I think most of them are probably overfunded, but to make sure that we're looking at all of those, to say justify what we're giving you, to give an incentive on not spending money rather than an incentive to spend the money knowing that next year they won't have it, I think is really the way we look at making those cuts.